Hello, we'll be talking about if-else statement and switch case. And these are the group members who is part for this assignment. To start with, I'll be doing an introduction of the topic. So, what is if-else statement? The if-else statement is a part of JavaScript's conditional statements, which are used to perform different actions based on different conditions. The if-else statement executes a block of code if a specified condition is true. If the condition is false, another block of code can be executed. In JavaScript, we have the following conditional statements. Use if to specify a block of code to be executed if a specified condition is true. Use else to specify a block of code to be executed if the same condition is false. Use else if to specify a new condition to test if the first condition is false. Use switch to select one of the many blocks of code to be executed. Next is, what is switch statement? The switch statement evaluates an expression and executes code as a result of a matching case. These are the example of the syntax. At first it can look a bit intimidating. The basic syntax is similar to that of an if statement. It will always be written with switch with a bracket and curly brackets, which containing the expression to test, and curly brackets containing the potential code to execute. Following the logic of the code block above, this is the sequence of events that will take place. The expression is evaluated. The first case, X will be tested against the expression. If it matches, the code will execute and the break keyword will end the switch block. If it does not match, X will be skipped and the Y case will be tested against the expression. If Y matches the expression, the code will execute and exit out of the switch block. If none of the cases match, the default code block will be run.
Hello, I'll be teaching on how to use if-else statements in JavaScript. Alright, so this is our mockup program that I've made for this video. So as you see, we're requested to enter our name, so I'll put test1, and as well as the laundry weight, I'll put as 1. And then the question of, do you need ironing? So it's either yes or no. If let's say I press yes, I'll click calculate, and this is the output given to me. Alright, so today we are going to learn how to have this output by using JavaScript. Alright, so first go to your Notepad++. Here I've already laid out the form in the HTML format, as you can see here. And now I'll just type in the JavaScript. So I'll be using a internal style, which is embedded in between the head and in between the scripts. So firstly, I will have to call the function, which is on click of cal. Okay. Open curly braces and close it first. And then I will call the variable. So let's say I will call the cost of washing. So let's just var w cost, as well as the output here, which is the rate. Alright, so we'll put rm1 if it's 1 kilogram, and then let's say we'll put rm150 followed by 2 and followed by 250, depending on the weight. So as already mentioned, rate, and then I will put the ironing cost, as well as the ironing rate, and also the total for the grand total output later, which will be present here in bill. Alright. And also I'll be using a constant, so I'll declare const irony. I'll just put it as 5. Alright, so what I've done here is that I've declared a constant for the variable of ironing. So whenever I call this ironing, the JavaScript will know that it is supposed to take 5. I'll show you, I'll prove it to you in a bit. Alright, so from here, next I'll be calling in the variables from the form now. So we will start with the customer name, so we will just call it as a variable, and we put a variable name for it, equals to document dot the foreign name, so it will be clean, and then the input name, which will be cus_name dot value. Alright, semicolon, followed by var weight, the same thing, document dot clean dot l weight dot value. Then the third one, which is for the radio button, will be var iron equals document dot clean dot inr dot value, close brackets, semicolon. Alright, so this is all the variable calls that we will be needing. Alright, so now we will get into the if-else statements of the program. So firstly, what I would normally like to do is that I will add a comment so that I will know what I'm doing. So for this one, I will be doing the washing first. Let's put wash, and then I will put if weight is less than or equal to 5, then the washing cost is equals to, let's say, 1 times by the weight. Alright, semicolon. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the rate is what will be printed out here, which is this. So what we will do is it's just that we will make a string. So we will just call rate equals in quotation rate rm1.00. Alright, so when it's in quotation, it's not going to be considered as a variable. You just read it as it is. So the beauty of it is that we don't have to declare any variables for this. Right? So we'll go with our next if-else statement. So after if will be else if weight. Now I'll be a bit more specific here on the weight, so I'll put weight equals to 0.001 or weight less than equals to 10, close brackets, and then as earlier we'll just put the washing cost equals to 150, let's just say, times by weight, semicolon, and then again we will just do the same, rate equals to rate RM 150, and we'll do the next one, else if weight equal to 0.001, again being very specific, while weight, or if the weight is less than 15, then the weight cost will be, let's just put it as 2 ringgit, so it'll be 2 times by weight, semicolon, rate equals to rate RM2.00, close quotation, semicolon. Now we will go to the next one, which will be else. Alright, the way else works is that if any of this fails, if all ends fail, you will just go to the else. So for else, we don't have to put any conditions. So that's one thing good about else. So this else is actually, in other words, can be mentioned as a failsafe. So I'll just put else if the wash cost will be 250 times by the weight, and the rate will be rate RM2.50, close the quotation marks, and then semicolon. Alright, so this is for the washing part. Alright, so next we will do the ironing part, which is for this radio button. So for radio buttons, it will be fairly the same. It's just that we will have to make sure that the input from the radio button is passing through our initial call. So as earlier, we just put the note for what we're doing. So in this case it will be iron, and then we will put if iron equals to y, alright, if you're wondering why this y is in quotations, there's a explanation for it. I'll tell you a bit later. So then we will put the cost as earlier. It will be cost first, and then we will put the rate, which will inform the user on how much is the cost. So in this case, I'll put I cost equals to ironing. Alright. So remember that we call the constant for ironing, which is equals to 5. So this is where it comes into handy. Whenever I call ironing anywhere, I don't have to put 5. I just put ironing, and the JavaScript will immediately know and recognize that it's a 5, and it will replace the ironing to a 5 in the background. Alright, so then you put the rate, rate equals to iron y rm5.00, right? So same as earlier, if, else if, else if, else. The reason why we use else if is because we have more than 2 options after the main if. That's why we will use else if. If let's say we have a boolean, which is yes or no, like in this case for ironing, then we will normally just use if and then else. So it will make the program scripting much more easier and faster. So in this case it will be else, and then you just have to remember that here is y, so then next here will be n. Alright, so we will just do as earlier as the y option for ironing, but in this case now we will be using the cost equals to 0, whereas the I rate will be iron n rm 5.00. Sorry, it will be 0 because n. Alright, then we will close this. Alright, so this is our ironing radio buttons if else. So as I mentioned earlier, the reason this y is in quotations is because the value here in the radio button is already y. So when the value is already given, what we are required to do for HTML to JavaScript input, we will just need to follow exactly based on what the value is given, which in turn we have to put in the quotation marks. If let's say we did not put in the quotation mark, then the program will be broken or it will not run properly. Alright, so moving on. Now that all the calculating part with all the variable calls are done, now we will do the final math calculation for this program, which will be the total, which includes the washing cost and also the ironing rate. So I'll just put a note for total. As earlier, I made a call for total, so I will call total again. Total equals to wash cost. Alright. Plus by ironing cost, which is either 0 or 5. Semicolon. And then now we will be printing our final output. I'll just name it as output. And for this one, we will be using inner HTML by getting the ID, as I've already embedded the ID output in the file. So we'll just put document, so get element by ID. So we'll just put the element, the element ID name, which is output, in these brackets. Alright, and we will put dot inner HTML. Then we will put what we want to output in our program. In this case, I will want to put your bill, line break, a dash, is a simple dash for line break in user's view. Then I'll put name. Now I'll call in the name variable. Alright, now I'll do a new line break. I'll put wait now. Wait plus by the wait variable, and then we'll call another one. We will continue with rate, another line break, rate close, and then we will plus the rate variable, and then we will open quotes again, and then we will do a line break. Now we will do for ironing, right? Ironing plus irate plus now it will be the final total. So we will do one last line break, bill RM close quotes plus total dot to fixed. Alright, the reason why we're using to fixed is that we want the program's final output to be in decimals, since this is involving cache. So it will be much easier for the user. Alright, so I'll test the code that I've just written. So I'll put save here. 1 kilogram Y for ironing. Click calculate, and there we have it. Your ironing, your laundry calculator is finished. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Eugene, and today I'm going to talk about JavaScript if else. So, the JavaScript is divided into if statement and else statements. The if else statement executes a block of code if a specified condition is true. If the condition is false, another block of code can be executed. The if else statement part is a part of JavaScript's conditional statements, which are used to perform different actions based on different conditions. The if else statement specifies a block of code to be executed if a condition is true. The else statement specifies a block of code to be executed if the condition is false. I have written a sample code over here. The code is simple. I have defined a variable named age equals 19. My code is if the value of variable is larger than 18, the program will output you can drive a car. If not, it will output you cannot drive a car. So if I'm assuming I'm 15 years old, then it will tell me you cannot drive a car. If I assume my age is 19 years old, then the program will tell me you can drive a car. That's it for all.
Alright guys, Right now I'll be teaching a JavaScript coding method, which is the switch case statement. So as you can see here, the page says, what is your name? So this framework that I've designed is meant for my group members. So the computer will ask, this page says, what is your name? So it will be asking for my group member's name. So let's just say, example, if I give my group member's name, maybe let's give Raynard. Raynard is the finisher of the group. So what it's trying to say is, it will ask for the group member's name, and whoever is the group member, it will describe the group member, whatever the group member did in the group, it describe what the group member most likely is in the group. What is his role most likely suitable in the group? So Raynard is the finisher of the group. That's how he's kind of suitable in the group. So that's the framework of how this works. Let's say, example, if I give Xavier, I'll get Xavier is the architect of the group. That is how his role seems to portray in the group. But let's just say if I put he's not a member, he's not a member. Let's just say I type in a member that is not in our group. Let's say Joe, yeah, Joe. Joe's good. Joe is not a group. Or maybe if I give Melvin, Melvin is not a group member. So how do I do all this? Like I say, through JavaScript with switch case statement. So that's what I'll be teaching today, and I hope I'll be enlightening you more about at least the basics of switch statement in JavaScript, and maybe up the way to the advanced ones. So let's begin. So we usually start our JavaScript with HTML as usual. So we're about to begin the coding for the framework of the method I showed you of how to do that kind of prompt statement just now. So we will start with exclamation doc type HTML, and then moving on to we start with HTML, and then we will start with the head. So this is HTML. HTML always start with exclamation doc type, and then beginning of an HTML and the opening of head. And then inside opening of the head, we always have script. I prefer writing my JavaScript externally so it looks a bit neater. So I'll usually source my JavaScript. So maybe you can give a source for my JavaScript where the page I'll write my JavaScript later on. I'll probably give a name switch tutorial or switch.js. Let's give it a switch.js, and then we cover it, and then we can give a slash script to close the script, and then we can close our head. So let's say we're gonna close our body as well. So let's say we open our body, and there's nothing in the body to write because we're writing all our codes in JavaScript. So it's body. We just close our body, and then oops, can always do this, and then we just close our HTML to complete everything. So HTML is actually pretty much done. So let's give this maybe java.html, right? Simple, nothing much to it. Showcase, yep. Save it here. So right now it's saved in Showcase, Java Showcase. And so let's go and open a new page where let's save it first. Save as maybe switch.js. Alright. So inside right here right now we'll do our JavaScript. So we start our JavaScript always with a variable. And what is a variable? Variable is something to tell the computer what it is. Like how a parent will tell a child, this is a chair, this is a table, this is vegetables, this is meat, this what is this now, what is that? This is how it pretty much works for a computer. This is how it pretty much works for a computer. You tell a computer what this is, and then you store and remember it. It works about that way, similar to that way. So let's say example, I want a prompt. So it's that simple in JavaScript. We just write prompt because you're gonna prompt. So I want to prompt, what is unit? Oops. What is your name? So what is your name? When I prompt what is your name and I write whatever name it is, it will store in this variable name. So the computer knows, like, okay, whatever this guy typed in, that is a name. Get it? So we go with the next one, which is the var. Let's say we go in the rest now. Right now let's give a var. Let's give another variable. Say. I'll later let you know why I put this variable. So let's move on. Now with switch statement. This is where all the action begins. Switch statement. I start with a switch statement with curly brackets as usual. Curly brackets. Alright. So in switch statement actually works this way. So let's say I type in my name. Whatever that I type in my name, it will store in this name, this variable name. So it means that whatever that happens in the computer, whatever that changes is usually the name. So the switch case statement work in a way where it switches according to the condition of the name and what name you typed in. So let's say if you type this name, it switches to this condition. If you type that name, it switches to another condition. I'll show how it works with clearer examples. So let's just say I put case Emmanuel. Okay. So case 1. So if I say, let's just say, means I'm trying to tell a computer, if I say my name is Emmanuel, what would happen? Let's give a semicolon. Let's give a colon. I want you to say this when the variable say comes in. So it will store into say. I'm telling the computer, if I put my name in Emmanuel, I want you to write, I'm the showman of the group. Alright? I present things and I like to give ideas as well. So I'm the showman of the group. And then I'll give a break. What does a break work? Break works in the switch case statement. Mostly is because that we don't want switch case statement to be very messy and all mashed up. So we give a break in every cases so that it goes more smoothly. Let me explain more. So let's just say, example, I perform my second case. If my name I write, let's say I write Xavier. Let's say I put in the name Xavier. So that means I'm telling the computer if I put my name as Xavier, I need you to switch from Emmanuel, all the way to Xavier, and I want you to say, I like to space so it looks neater. I want to say that Xavier is the architect of the group because he comes up with good way of how the project flow goes, and so we give him a good name, the architect of the group. Alright, so let's give it another break so that it goes smoother. That's how it works. So right now we have given it like this. So we give another case. So let's say if a case is another group name of my name, Rainer. So I guess you can pretty much see how the pattern works. So let's say if I put my name as Rainer, I need you to do me a favor and then write and then say equals that Rainer is the finisher of the group. He is, because he always give good final touches to make the project complete. So let's give it another break. So let's go for next case. So another group member of ours named Eugene. Let's say if I write the name Eugene, what would Eugene be? I want the computer to say so that whatever I want the computer to say will be stored in this variable. Say, and then it will say it out later on. I'll show you. So let's just say he is the thinker of the group. He thinks and gives good ideas sometimes, which is very good. The thinker of the group. And then we give another break. So let's just say this is about done. Let's give another case statement. Alright, case. Alright, so right now we've reached our last group member, which is Aina. Oops, sorry, Aina. So let's just say if I write in my name as Aina, what is Aina? What is Aina's role most suitable in the group? She didn't attend a few meetings before, and she might have her reasons, but without a doubt she does do a project perfectly, and so we will call her the boogeyman of the group. The man of the group, which is a good thing. So let's just give a break. Alright, so right now the switch statement case usually works this way. Right now, as you can see, if I type in if the computer asks what is my name, I write my name, it's stored here. And then when it's stored here, it says according to the name, I want you to switch according to names. If it's Emmanuel, say he's this kind of person. If it's Xavier, I want you to say he's this kind of person. If it's Rainer, and so on. But let's just say, if I'm anybody beside my group member, what should I do? What would the computer say? So usually instead of writing long list of names saying this is not the group member, we'll just go with the default button. So by default, if I'm not any of these group members, the computer will say that, oh, he is not a group member. And then break. It's that simple. So the switch case is done. But now the question arises, how do I actually have Melvin is not a group member? Because right now it's just saying that, oh, it is, Emmanuel is the showman of the group, Xavier the architect, Rainer the finisher, and so on. And default, whoever is not in the group is not a group member. But actually, how do we actually give it a statement? So we go with the most basic document.write, a JavaScript basic, that it means that you want the computer to write down a statement. So let's begin. You will start with document.write with a bracket, and then we use the variable name. So that whatever name we type in will go into this variable and it will be output. Whatever name we write in here will go into this variable, and then this variable, and then it will be outputted here name. So we just plus the statement we want to write is, and then we put another plus what? Plus say. So that what it's trying to say here means is that say, as in, let's just say, if I write my name, whatever name it is, the switch statement will go according to whatever name I write. Let's say I write Xavier. And then it will write according to say down here, the say for this, the architect of the group. If it's Eugene, if I wrote my name Eugene, you say his name is Eugene, is the thinker of the group. That's how switch case statement usually work. So that's how I'm able to do that prompt box. So let's just say I save it here right now, and then I save mine here as well, and then I'll show you right now how it works. Switch case statement, Java. Oops, sorry. And then I'm gonna open with Google Chrome. Hang on. It's a bit of a mistake. Hopefully there will not be mistakes soon. Alright, there's caught the mistake. It's done. Right now the mistake is fixed. Let's see, hopefully it works. There we go. Emmanuel, boom, it's the showman of the group. And let's say we give it another one. Let's say if it's not Joe, not the group member. Joe is not a group member. We can usually give a space here. I'll fix that up later, but that's pretty much how the switch case statement works. So I hope I've enlightened you about the switch case statement in JavaScript, and happy learning.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about one of the condition statement in JavaScript called switch statement. So a switch statement is something we want to use when we have a lot of data that we want to check for. For example, maybe if I want to check for which day of the week it is today, or maybe if I want to check the answer that user enter is correct or not. As you can see, I have a very simple setup over here with a paragraph with ID test, and in the script we have a verbal day, semicolon, and down here we got a document.getElement by ID, and of course since it's get element by ID, so I'm just taking the ID from here, from paragraph, and put it in here. After that, because I want to insert some kind of HTML code, I think, so I put inner HTML over here equals to the words it is plus day. And whatever is going to change over here, I mean whatever it change in this like variable day is going to affect the output from here also. For example, like now it's undefined because I didn't actually like equals to anything yet. I didn't put anything over here, and now I'm going to test with 500. If I put 500, it's going to be like it is 500. Check. Yep, it is 500. So the next step is to insert the switch case, because I want to check whether today is what day, like what day is today, by doing with switch new day. Oops. Yeah, of course, because for JavaScript it's case sensitive, so the first letter here over here you need to put capital letter, these words, and parentheses. This is object over here, the new date is object, and what I want to get is get day, close it, and open another curly brackets. Alright, so this is the time, or should I say the day it is right now, like the day I'm recording right now, current time, yes, the current time. So if I put it in here, it's going to display a value like 1, 2, 3 or 4. So now it's, yeah, it shows 2 because by the time I'm recording right now it's Tuesday, so you can count as like Monday is 1, Tuesday is 2, Wednesday is 3, and like that. After that one, I'm going to put case, because for the value that we get just now from this statement over here, this object over here, I'm going to turn the number, the value, into words like the one that I just said just now, like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I'm going to put like case 1, which means if the value is 1, it's going to display Monday. Oh yeah, and the day is for this one, this day. Close it and break. Another one is day, Tuesday. And break. Okay, so a lot of people might be asking like, what is the use of this break over here? So it's something like for the system, after they read this one, read the first case, and if they didn't get the same value over here, they would follow the break and jump to another case. For example, like for just now, the system get the value of 2, and if they check for case 1, because it's not 1, so they would follow the break and jump to another case for case 2, and until case 2 they will stop here because this is the case that they want, so the system want, so then they will display this one. So the break is like actually like a bridge for them to from case 1 and jump to another case, or maybe other case like case 3 or case 4. And I'm going to copy it right now. Change this. And yeah, it might take some times to change, so it's kind of boring for this part. So this is number 5. 6, Saturday. And for Sunday, the system one pops out 7, so you need to put 0 for Sunday. And because, as I said just now, the break is actually like bridge for the system to jump from cases to cases, and until the case 0 is the last case, so we doesn't need this one. But we can put another one called default, and can put anything else over here. Just to make it looks pretty funny over here. So the default is like the if else statement is like the else, which means after the system get a value and they can't find a value over here, which is from 0 until 6, so they will use default as the last options. And right now I believe, let's save it, it's going to display it as Tuesday. Yep, it's Tuesday, and today is, yeah, it's Tuesday. And of course, if you're getting bored because of like keep following the PC format, I mean the PC time, the real time, the current time, you can change by yourself by changing the variable here with equals to like maybe 4. It turns out to be, it is Thursday, I believe. Yep, it is Thursday. Or maybe you can put it with words, like maybe see. And if you want to put words, you need to remember put this 2 dot over here. And as the same things over here, put 2 dots and change anything here. Maybe banana. Yep, it is banana. Okay, so this is my tutorial over here, and